Hello, everyone. Welcome to our community meeting. This is the community meeting for the Sprint 76. On Monday, we are releasing Kiali version 1.54. Remember that recently we moved our releases from Friday to Monday on more compatible time with European time zones, so everyone can use the release on that same day. So expect that on Monday. This is the agenda for today. We will have this summary of the sprint. Then we are looking into some highlights of the new version. After that, we are talking about a little bit of a preview of the upcoming sprint. And finally, as usual, we have our community discussions. This is a not recorded session that we can have with community. We are always open to feedback, so it will be great if you have to comment something. So let's start with a real quick summary. We have a lot of progress, saying that we had also a lot of people of PTO and holidays. So this sprint we doesn't have so many tasks in done, but it is mainly related to that. Here we can see we had 29 tasks done, and others in review that probably will be finished by the next week, others in progress, and so on. Talking about the highlights of this sprint, we are giving the control plane, or we are trying to give the control plane more presence in the overview page. I mean, with this, we want to do a redesign of the card of the namespace that has the control plane. Usually, it's Istio system, can be different, but it's usually the case. So we want to give this card different information as compared with the data plane cards. So the other namespaces. In this case, this is a work in progress, but I thought it is okay to mention because we are also looking for feedback. So this information we are looking to show the memory of the Istio, the CPU, more pilot information. So we are looking to expose more signals. I mean, latency. What I mean by latency is the time that when the pilot receives a push, and that push is translated into envoy configuration and propagated throughout the workloads. Saturation, how many services you have in your service mesh, and the CPU is very related to that. Also, errors, because when you have a performance problem, also you have errors related to that performance degradation. And finally, we are trying to add configuration batches. Like you see, we have here the registry only. This is one. We are planning to add more to, at a glance, see more information about your control plane. Of course, also indicating that this namespace is the control plane, because maybe the name is different in your installation. So this is one area that we are focusing. In the future, we want to expose more metrics and display more metrics and give the control plane more important space, maybe into another section of Kiali. We are starting with the overview page and the card, but well, this is a work in progress, and hopefully for the next sprint we will be finished and merged. Continuing a little bit more on the overview page, we are doing a small enhancement, but very useful, to say to the user why the log icons are showing in the cards, because when the MTLS is enabled for the mesh, it is in our masthead, but sometimes it was, I guess, confusing. So now we are explicitly saying why this log is appearing here. I mean, it's appearing because it is extended from the mesh-wide configuration. It's inherited. Another thing that we are working is on the improving scalability. In this case, we are continue working on validations. So this is an ongoing and very large topic. that we are trying to improve for scalability. Sorry about that. So now I can pass the mic to Nick, that he's going to talk us and tell us about more scalability things. Hey Nick, can I pass the mic?
Can you hear me?
And the sharing? No, I will still sharing, sorry. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you can just stay on this slide. I'll just talk about this slide briefly. So when we talk about scalability, we're talking about improving the performance of Kiali with larger scale meshes, and scale can be many types of workloads. It can be large amounts of namespaces, these kinds of things. So to that end, this sprint, we added some more internal tracing for Kiali. We've been doing some performance testing against a cluster with a larger amount of workloads. And part of getting information from that is adding tracing to figuring out so that we can figure out which parts of Kiali we can optimize these larger scale meshes. And also adding some Cypress tests that measure page load times for things like a large amount of namespaces. So that's the majority of the work that went on for scalability and with regards to performance testing this sprint.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, so we can continue. In this case, I will pass the mic to Edgar, if he can comment about this. Hi, Edgar.
Hello. Yes, I also speak over the slide. This is quite quick. Well, this is the one of the metrics dashboards, or are the built-in metrics dashboards that Kiali has available in the workflows page, and also on the services on applications pages. The change here is mainly in the reported drop-down that you can see on the toolbar next to the metric settings. It has a new value of both. Previously, it was only in source and destination reporters. Now you can see both reporters at the same time. So when you select both, as you can see in the picture, you will have some area charts drawn in the screen. That basically means that the lines or the boundaries of the areas are the metric reported by each reporter. It can be that the bottom line is the source, or it can be also the destination. You will find it when you hover on the charts. The tooltip will be more clear about which line is what. So that's the main change. So you will be seeing both reporters quite correlated between them. So it's quite. So this will help you in cases where you can to let you see clearly what is seen each workload, both from the destination side and the source side. This could help, for example, in the network latencies. For example, I think that not sure if it's about the request duration. Probably the request duration will more or less depict the network latencies, because the destination sidecar will usually have lower durations, but it also can see more clearly when some circuit breakers are being fired. If a circuit breaking is being fired, it's usually the case that the source reporter will have data, while the destination won't have any data because traffic is not flowing through the destination. It's the source sidecar that is completely stopping traffic to go through the destination. So yes, this is one more feature to analyze a little better how the network is behaving, and basically that to see more clearly the unified data. And that's it for this slide.
Okay, thank you. Yes, very great and very interesting. So we can continue now, and we'll pass the mic to Hosune. Hi, Hosune.
So this feature, first of all, saying that is still a work in progress and is ready to review, but probably will be something to be available for the next version. But anyway, this is something that we have been working on. So the workflow at this page, feature analyze the logs the contact for each
Hosune, I guess we are losing you a little bit.
For the logs. The background is you can. Can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, now it's better.
Okay. Okay, so I was saying that, for example, the order was random when we use the milliseconds. So there is an example where we can see that we have container 1 and container 2, and they are using the seconds, but it's showing all the milliseconds in consecutive lines for each container, which is correct. According to fix this sorting and the condition, we are now using the Unix timestamp with milliseconds in order to provide properly sort the logs. So when a log entry doesn't have milliseconds, they are filled using zeros. And this example here in the screenshot is taken from the error rates demo in a seed server workflow where I can reproduce the error, where is basically it for this change.
Okay, great. That's a really good addition. Here you can talk also about these other issues, right? Just a quick status.
Yes, yes. Other issues where we have been working on this sprint, where the dependency from Istio.io client Go was upgraded to version 1.14, and these changes are affected just internally to the but it takes some time to the upgrade. Another change were minor style improvements, like for example the upgrade of the cursor to pointer in links inside the graphs, or for example so misalignments with other elements in the view, with the view in Grafana or the view in tracing links in the details page. And also some updated Kiali validations has been updated in both the and the documentation. So for more details, all that changes can be seen in kiali.io. And
Okay.
that's it.
Thank you very much, Hosune. Well, that were the highlights. Now continuing to the review of the next sprint. With this, we want to transform this meeting a little bit more of a planning, show more information about the issues that we are gonna do on the next one. This is still in progress, I might say. It is also affected because part of the team is on PTO on holidays. This is something that we will improve on the subsequent meetings. But first of all, we have items in our backlog that will be moved from the SPIC 76 to the 77 because are still in progress or are not taking take it at all. So this is one thing. Another thing is that we have also eligible issues. Sorry, we usually put the label backlog to the issues that we can grab to work and to start working. So in addition to the existing work, we are also adding more issues with the label backlog to our Sprint 77 backlog. Like I mentioned, this is something that we will improve for the next committee meetings. So let's tune for that. And well, now we are starting the community discussion. So I will stop the recording now. Thank you for listening to the highlights.